A woman has been killed in southern Lebanon by Israeli shelling, the third civilian death in as many days. Israeli cross-border attacks have increased in recent weeks, striking further inside Lebanon. Apparently approximately 50,000 people from southern Lebanon are displaced as a result of the fighting. Hezbollah continues to fire into northern Israel, hitting the town of Kiryat Shmona. Live now to Zeina Khodr in southern Lebanon. Zeina, tell us the latest on this. It's been a sort of sporadic but intensifying series of cross-border fighting over the last few days.
Well, yes, even in the past hour, the cross-border exchange of fire continues. Behind me, Israeli airstrikes, multiple airstrikes targeting the hills behind me. Hezbollah firing a salvo of rockets towards Israeli military positions. The escalation is sporadic. It is intensifying. So the frequency, the scope of the attacks are intensifying. But the conflict is still largely confined to the border area. You have that occasional strike deeper inside Lebanon. It happened overnight, some 20, 25 kilometers from the border in the Iqlim al-Tuffah region. Israel carried out a strike. That area is known to be where Hezbollah has military assets. Now, could have that been in response to Hezbollah firing surface-to-air missiles that forced Israeli helicopters to leave the airspace close to the border. So both sides really showing their capabilities, not using their full military capabilities, but showing their capabilities. Israel threatening to launch a full-blown war if diplomacy doesn't work, and Hezbollah is not pushed from the border. But Hezbollah is not phased, saying it will continue to target Israeli military positions along the border as long as Israel continues to attack Gaza. So the situation, in the words of the head of the UN peacekeeping mission in southern Lebanon, is dangerous and it is difficult. You mentioned that civilian who was killed. The woman in her home was in a border village. There were 2 other civilians killed in the past 2 days. Now, these 3 civilians were in the battleground, if you like, the 3 to 4 kilometer battleground, close to the border. And it's very difficult, even for us, to operate in those areas because anything that moves could be hit by an Israeli drone. And in fact, Israel's strikes have becoming more direct hits, with Hezbollah losing up to 18 men in the past week alone. So an intensification of the conflict, still confined to the border, both sides still calibrating their attacks, sticking to the rules of engagement, where each side focuses their targets on military positions or vehicles or soldiers. But the threat of this conflict expanding is real.
Indeed. Zeina Khodr, thank you very much for that from southern Lebanon.